Better today. Better today. It was terrible last week, Frankie boy. It was terrible.
Hello.
Hello, friends. Well, it was terrible last week. When I was young, I suffered a kind of sport uh, cervical lesion in my, in my back, and it was terrible when I was young, practicing sports. But it was many years ago. And recently at home, I had a domestic accident, and it was terrible because I don't know how I suffered a cervical injury, and it is very painful. So I have to go to hospital. I stay there, and then I began with some kind of physiotherapy sessions, which were terrible. But in the end, I feel better now. I feel better, but it was a terrible week. But here we are again, and you've been during a week with another teacher, so I will need today some kind of feedback from you to tell me things you did, things you didn't do, etc. But in general, I want you to speak about unit number 9, the unit that I was not able to finish, because this unit is particularly important and interesting, I think. It's a pity that this unit coincided in history with this problem we are having with the coronavirus, etc. Because the topic was happiness. Imagine that. Huh? What a coincidence, right? The topic of unit number 9 is happiness. And I don't want you to forget that with all these problems we are having in our country. I don't want you to forget that one day, you will have to write and speak about happiness, friends. That's why I will make a revision very fast on the topics of unit number 9. Listen, on page number 96, we began unit number 9. We never imagined in that moment everything that would happen in the future. And then we began studying in class 9 different forms that English and American people have to express happiness, things that make people happy. I refer to the list of 9 expressions that you have in starting off, page 96. Maybe you remember being admired by the people around you. This can make many people happy. Being part of a loving family can make a lot of people happy too. And then at least there are 9. I don't want to read them all because you have them in your books, page 96. But this is important. Huh? What is the importance of the list? That if I memorize, then I don't have to be improvising in the exam. I can use 3 or 4 of these elements and I pass my exam. But I remember also that in class, we found out that there was one missing element in the list, which I particularly consider to be the most important: health. And it is not mentioned in the list. Health is extremely important. Tell me, with my problem last week, do you think that I was happy during a week without pain in my back? Impossible. So health is important to be happy. And if I could, I would advocate health in number 1. Because maybe you have a lot of friends, or you have a lovely family, loving family, and maybe you have all the time of the world for doing things you like, etc. But if you are not healthy, you are not going to be happy, right? So we analyze that, the vocabulary for this unit, and then we, on page number 98, we studied some verbs that we normally use when we speak about this topic. They are the verbs achieve, carry out, and devote, page 98. And we studied, first of all, I gave you time in that class for you to use your dictionaries, and we studied that achieve in Spanish is something like lograr, alcanzar, to achieve my goals, etc. Carried out in Spanish could be llevar a cabo, yes, realizar algo, carry out. And we study devote, which is dedicar. We devote our lives to do something. That is the principal meaning of these verbs. We study these three verbs and we did exercises in class. On the same page, page 98, we studied the difference between stay, spend, and pass, because sometimes they are confusing, and you can be sure that Cambridge is going to use this problem. Stay, spend, and pass. When I speak about holidays and vacations, these verbs, principally stay and spend, they are very necessary to express my the things I want to say about my holiday or vacation. How can we say about the holiday you spend in, for example, where? In Cadiz, for example. If you don't use these verbs, it's completely impossible. So we study that state is dedicated to accommodation. When you want to say where you slept during the days or weeks that you enjoyed your holidays in that city or place. So state is connected with accommodation. For example, when I say I stayed, the past of stay, regular verb, ed, I stayed in a beautiful hotel. See that? Accommodation. I stayed in a beautiful hotel by the seaside. I stayed in a small rented flat. See that? So stayed has that use, important use. When I want to tell you or anybody my accommodation during my vacations, stay. How do we say that in Spanish? I don't know. I think it's me quedé en un hotel. I don't know. I found in a dictionary pernoctar or something like that, but I don't know if we use it in Spain. Pernocté en un hotel. I don't know. But that's the meaning. That is the meaning. And then spend, which is irregular. Spend is irregular. In present, it ends in D, but remember that in simple past and past perfect, it transformed the D into T. So the pronunciation are a little bit different. Spend, present, spent, past. And spend is connected in English with two principal things, money and time. What we spend in English is money or time. For example, yesterday is fiction because, we are in quarantine. But yesterday I went shopping. I spent 200 euros in a what? My God, what imagination of mine, in something, in clothes or in shoes. I spent 200 euros in shoes. Observe that. So spend is dedicated to money in this example. But in the example of vacations or holiday is time. I spent a week in Cancun. See that? It's the time. How do we say in Spanish? Pues me pasé, creo. Me pasé una semana. Maybe that's the translation. But pasé in English, in Spanish, sorry, pasé. And when we say pasé, I think in past. Yes or no? Everybody think in past. Past exists and it is connected also with time. Not only exams, which is the regular use of past. But we can use past with time. But with one simple characteristic that I think we studied in class, and maybe you remember, is when I do something in my time, with my time, but only because I am bored, I have nothing better to do, and I am waiting for do something more important. For example, when you are waiting for a plane at the airport and you have nothing to do, some people buy a newspaper that they never buy, and they read news that they never read, but just to pass the time, because they have nothing serious, important, interesting to do. That is to pass the time. That is the meaning. Well, and then, there are other verbs in the same exercise, make, cause, and have, but they are not a serious problem for you because you know the meaning of make, you know the meaning of cause and have, and they are not problematic in reality in the exams. The real problems are spend, stay, pass. During unit number 9, we practice some listening, etc., but the grammar that we studied in unit number 9, friends, excuse me for this long monologue. Excuse me for this, but I want you to remember everything we studied because I haven't seen you in a week. So it's like a mystery for me what is happening in your head. Well, the grammar aspect of unit number 1 was how to express certainty and how to express possibility. And in English, it's very easy. It's very easy because we use the modal verbs. All the modal verbs? No, logically. For certainty, we use must in the affirmative sentences and we use can't in the negative sentences. But what is certainty? Certainty is when I am speculating, because I am not 100% sure. It's pure speculation, but I have some information that makes me feel in certain way sure about something. And then I use must. If yesterday here in Madrid it was raining yesterday, and in the morning it was raining, and you ask me now about the weather for tonight, it is logic to say it must rain tonight because it has been raining the rest of the week. See that? Am I completely 100 sure of that? No, I am speculating, but with a high level of certainty. That's why I say it must, which coincides with the Spanish. Debe llover, porque ha llovido toda la semana. It must rain tonight because it has been raining the whole week. See that? But it's pure speculation, friends, right? I can use can't in negative sentences. For example, if you ask me, Jerry, do you think that we will have a sunny day tomorrow? And then in my analysis, I see that it's been, cloudy all the week. So logically, my speculation would be with a high level of certainty. And I say, well, it can't be a sunny day tomorrow because we've had cloudy days all the previous week. See that? It can't be sunny. Tomorrow, it can be sunny. See, so I can speculate with a high level of certainty using must for affirmative, using can't for negative. Must and can't are modal verbs. And the principal characteristic of modal verbs is that they are always followed by another verb. Always. Because they are not principal verbs. They are auxiliary. So they are always followed by a verb which is the principal one. And this verb is always in the simple form. No conjugation. Some books say that this is the verb in infinitive without to. Fantastic, that is. So can't go, must go. See that? You don't conjugate go. That is. But sometimes when I speculate about something, I don't have much information. No. And in that case, It may be yes or it may be not. And we use the modal verbs may, see, because it's possibility. May, might, could. These are the three verbs that we can use for expressing possibility. May, might, could, right? It may rain tomorrow. It might rain tomorrow. I don't know. It could rain tomorrow. You can use these three modal verbs indistinctively because there is no difference among them, right? And they are modal verbs. So they have the same characteristic as must and can't. They will be always followed by another verb, which is the principal verb, in simple form. No conjugation. Infinitive without to. That is. Do you think that this is all? No, remember, sometimes I speculate but about the past. Something that happened in the past. Something that has happened in the recent past. And in that case, when I am talking about the past, after the modal verbs, must, can't, for certainty, may, might, could, for possibility. In those cases, but I am speculating about something in the past, after the modal verbs, I have to use present perfect, not the verb in simple form, present perfect. Observe the difference, friends. It must rain tomorrow. Must rain. It must have rained yesterday. See the difference? Similar to Spanish. It must rain tomorrow. Debe llover mañana. Ha llovido toda la semana. It must have rained yesterday. Debe haber llovido ayer. Yo no estaba en la ciudad, pero debe haber llovido porque mira, las plantas todas están húmedas. More or less, ¿sí? Debe haber llovido. No debe llover porque da idea de futuro. Debe haber llovido. It must have rain. Negative. It can't have rain. See that? So conclusion, when I'm speculating about something in the present or maybe future, and I'm speculating with a high level of certainty, I use must or can't. Yes, and if the idea is in present, the verb in simple form. But if I'm referring to something in the past, after must and can't, you have to use the present perfect. If the level of certainty is very low, just a possibility, in that case, I use may, might, could, the modal verbs. But after then, if the idea is in present, the verb in simple form. If the idea is in past, present perfect. Okay? Do you understand this? Because sometimes my explanations are more complicated than the reality. Do you get it? Say yes or no.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good, kids. Very good. Well, that was the principal grammatical aspect of unit number 9. Then, and the rest for me, friends, is pure, you know, what is pure, is like a darkness, because I was absent a week. My question is, friends, observe page 101 in your books, please. And the question is, did you do the reading and use of English part 4 on page 101 or not?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, the question is, did you do reading and use of English part 4 exercise on page 101? Because it is very important. Have you done it?
Yes.
Yes.
Ah, good, good. And exercise 2 on the right.
Yes, I need the last two answers because I can heard the day.
I can help you with that, Frankie boy. Yes, listen, in number 5, spend, is that the sentence?
Yes, this is the first I need.
Aha. Well, it says the original sentence says, how long did it take you to write the essay? And you have to write a similar sentence using spend. So the answer was, how long did you spend writing ing, spend ing, remember that. So how long did you spend writing the essay? How long did you spend writing the essay? That was the answer, Frankie boy. And in number 6, the answer was, my brother may have found, because it is past, right? My brother may have found, hallado, found out, averiguado. Well, look at the difference, right? My brother may have found out that I have borrowed his bike. Is that the answer for your question, Frankie?
Yes, but I am money.
You are what?
I am money, no Frankie boy.
Ah, money. Sorry, friend. I'm
No,
confusing your voice.
don't worry,
Sorry,
no problem.
sorry, friend. Okay, well, and now we have to deal with the speaking part of unit number 9. I don't know if the other teacher began practicing the speaking. Page number 100 and what? 100 and what is it?
2, I think.
102, yes, 102. It's because we have different books, you know. 102, speaking. Did you talk about that with the other teacher? Did she prepare you for this exam?
Yes, I did the speaking.
Ah, good. And what was the result, friend? Was it good?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good, good, very good. So what is the mystery of this exam? I'm going to tell you rapidly. You can pass this exam without the instructions I'm going to tell you now, honestly. You can pass it with the preparations you have. But if you want to pass with high marks, which is what everybody wants, if you want to pass with high marks this exam, the idea is to remember that during my 1 minute speaking time, if I am able to find something similar, something different, speculate, I repeat, speculate, instead of saying, for example, the first picture on page number 102, instead of saying, I can see a group of young people having fun in the snow, instead of saying this, I can change it. I can speculate. I can say, this group of young people must, certainty, speculation, certainty, must be having a lot of fun in the snow. Imagine the difference. What is the difference? I can see a group of young people having fun in the snow. They don't give me nothing extra. But if I say, this group of young people must be having a lot of fun in the snow, they give me 1 extra mark because I'm speculating correctly using must. See the difference? So I need, if possible, friends, because one thing is what we are doing here in your houses, in my here in my study. One thing is here, and another different thing is the day of the exam in front of the Cambridge teachers, and stress, nerves, etc., etc. But if you are able in that moment of remembering my advice, it is excellent that I dedicate some time. I have only 1 minute, so it's not much, to say something similar, something different, and to speculate. If you read, and I am sure that you read it, if you read the dialogue between the examiner and Peter on page 101 and 2, you know that Peter is making a very good exam. And then we have all the pictures on page 102, the second set of pictures, the question for this picture is, what are the people enjoying about the different situations? And they give you two pictures. Imagine that I am in the exam. Let me give you this example because I want you to prepare the best way possible. What I do in the exam is that immediately I begin thinking of things that they can have in common and things that can differentiate one from the other. Because if I find these things, I will get extra marks. For example, when I see these two pictures, in the first picture, I can see a man, is an old man, and maybe it is his birthday, and they are celebrating his birthday party. And I see the rest of the people, they must be their families, relatives, and friends. But they are inside the house. I can use that. You know, I always use this whenever possible. They are indoor. While in the other picture, even when they are celebrating something, and they are very happy too, but they are outdoor, they are in a stadium. And I can use that. What a simple form of making an exam, but effective. If I say, in the first picture, I can see a group of people celebrating the old man's birthday party. They seem, I'm going to say they seem, they must, because they express speculation. I'm not sure, I'm speculating. They seem to be very happy. The man must be having a good moment because he's surrounded by his family. And they are indoor. They are in the house. However, in the second picture, the people are outdoor. This is the difference. And they are giving me, 1 mark because I found a difference. And that's important for Cambridge. Something similar. They are having fun. They are celebrating something. I can use that. Both pictures show. Remember that formula, which is repetitive. But it is, it works. It works in the exam. So both pictures show people celebrating special, important moments with other people. That's enough because I get the mark. And then immediately, I speculated, I found something similar, I found something different, and now this is the moment of rapidly try to answer the question. Because if not, I don't pass the exam. What are the people enjoying about the different situations? And then I answer the question. On page 104, my friends, we have more pictures, right? For example, and they are divided in tasks, task 1 and task 2, page 104. In task 1, the teacher says, here are your photographs. They show people who have just done something special. I'd like you to compare the two photographs and say how you think the people feel about what they have just done. This is what the teacher tells you in the exam. Anyway, sometimes in the exam, we are not able to understand what the teacher says, Don't get nervous for that, friends, because the teacher is never going to tell you anything important. The important thing is the question, and the question is copied at the top of the pictures. Because if the teacher has a Scottish accent or something very weird, you have the question written at the top of the paper, right? So concentrate on that. I immediately observe the two photographs and the question. The question is, how are the people feeling about what they have just done? ¿Cómo se sienten acerca de lo que acaban de hacer? But what have they just done? This is a terrible moment in the exam when I don't understand what is happening in the picture. Yes or no, friends? A terrible moment if I don't see what is happening. In my opinion, in the first picture, it is like, it's not that the girl is buying a car. For me, this is not the idea. For me, the idea is that the girl was taking a driving license examination and she passed. That's what I feel when I see the photograph. I think that she passed because she's laughing and the examiner is laughing. So it is a good atmosphere, right? I will never say in the first picture, I see a girl who has passed. No, I never would say that because I want to use a speculation to get a mark, right? So instead of saying in the first picture, I see a girl who has passed the driving license test. No, I would say in the first picture, I see a girl who seems, que parece, who seems to haber pasado. Especulación en pasado, presente perfecto. Remember that. Who seems to have passed her driving license examination. She seems to be very happy. She looks to be very happy. Speculation. She must be very happy because she's laughing. Something like that. That's what I am thinking before the examination. And in the second picture, this is like something similar to an amusement park. Amusement park. In English, we have two different parks. Yes? Theme park, which in Spanish is temático, theme park, and amusement park, de diversiones. So this must be an amusement park, but I don't know. So I'm going to speculate because I don't know. Like an amusement park, and I see two children riding an attraction. That's how we say in English, montar los aparatos. In English is riding, like the bicycle, you know, like the bicycle, riding an attraction. There are two children, two kids, riding an attraction in the amusement park. But look at the difference between the two kids. The girl is having fun, laughing, and the boy is frightened. He is really scared. I can use these elements, right? Good. And the question, I have to answer the question, but I prepare for that. On the other hand, there is another set of pictures on the right. It says task number 2. The teacher says, here are your photographs. They show people in frightening situations. Yes. I'd like you to compare the two photographs and say why you think the people are frightened in these situations. Friends, I don't need much imagination to know why the boy in the first picture is frightened. Whenever I take a plane, I feel scared. The problem is that you have to overcome that situation because it's not normal, but it's terrible. Principally when the plane begins moving, that's terrible. So I understand the boy. He is on a plane, which makes a difference, and I can use it. It makes a difference because he's on a plane while the girls are in the living room of the house. See, I can use that. While in picture number 1, the man is on a plane, the girls in the second pictures are in the living room of their house. I can make that contrast because it gives me 1 extra mark. But something similar, which is important too because it gives me an extra mark, is that they all, the man in the first picture and the girls in the second picture, they all are frightened. They are frightened. So I can say both pictures show people in frightening situations. In frightening with ing because now it's an adjective. Ed is how the people feel. Ing is how the situation is. In frightening situations. See, friends, what I'm trying to do here is to give you the technique, not only to pass, because you are going to pass with high marks. So if you have problem in other part of the exam, this is going to balance the situation. I don't know if you all took the speaking exam. Did you do it, the speaking exam? With the other teacher? What a silence. It means no. Nobody? Manny, did you take the exam, the oral exam last class? Manuel Diaz?
No, I don't do it.
Okay.
The last class I don't stay in class.
Okay. Thank you for coming today then. Thank you for being here with me, friend. It's a pleasure. And you, Carmen, did you take the speaking exam?
Oh, sorry, but I didn't see the last class too.
Oh my God. It's a pleasure having you here. Thank you for coming today. And you, Paula, did you take the exam, the oral exam? Paula Herrera.
Can you repeat?
The question is, Paula, did you take the oral exam, the speaking exam last class?
Yes, the last class.
You took the exam.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And you, Frankie?
Yes, I did the exam.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Frankie. And you, Mike? I think you did it.
I didn't see the class, the last class.
Okay. So you were not here. Thank you very much. Well, friends, I don't know if Albert took the exam. I don't know if who else. Joanna. I don't know if Lydia took the exams.
No, because I haven't been in the last classes too.
Okay. Well, friends, it's a real pleasure that you are here with me today. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, friends, listen, because I know how you feel. You know, many years ago, I was a student like you, and I got nervous when the teacher asked me, "Hey, Jerry, you have to take the examination," principally when it was oral. My God, I know how you feel, but maybe you understand the importance of speaking, right? The importance of speaking here with me is that, in fact, what you are doing is giving me the opportunity to rectify your mistakes and giving you yourselves the opportunity for practicing for the exam, because I can imagine you taking an oral exam alone in your house. Nobody does that. So this is a chance for you to speak. If you make mistakes, we are humans. We are here for that, right? So don't worry about that. But it's important for me that the people, it's not compulsory. Let me speak about that. It's not compulsory because you are adults. But I want to give you a chance next class, not now. I don't want you to be nervous. Next class, at the beginning of the class, I'm going to give chance for volunteers to take the exams. And what is the exam about? The oral exam is going to be about the two sets of pictures that we have on page 104. See that? Task 1, the picture of the examiner and the girl taking the driving license exam, the two kids that are in the amusement park. This is a set. And the other set is the man on the plane and the girls in the living room. And you are going to select one of these two sets. You select the two pictures you prefer. Set 1 on the left or set 2 on the right. And then prepare for the oral exam. And next class, at the beginning, I'm going to ask you, and if you want, you can take the oral exam. I can help you with the possible mistakes, and you have only 1 minute. Be careful with that. But friends, we need to speak. I think that you know the importance of speaking, right? Because if we don't practice and we don't break the ice here in your houses in front of a microphone, but nobody's looking at you, if you don't do it with these conditions, imagine in the exam. So I have to prepare you for that. But let's stop with this blah, blah, blah. I would like you to go to page 100, and I think it's 116. 116. Let's go to page 116, friends. Page 116. My God, what is that? 116. Here, this is the page I want to see with you. One question. Can you see the page on the chat, on the screen?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good, friends. My question is, have you done the vocabulary and grammar review of unit number 9?
In page 16, yes.
116.
Yes, 116, yes.
You answer all the questions?
No.
Okay.
I know.
Okay. So what is this? Well, you know, as always, this is the summary of everything we studied in unit number 9. So I would appreciate that we do it, because if we do it, I can be sure that you remember the topics. Let's begin with the vocabulary exercise number 1. This exercise here. This exercise. Circle the best word from the words in italics. And they are going to revise, remember, spend, pass, stay, all the verbs that we studied in. They are, because maybe you don't remember and you want to check them out. They are on page 98. They are on page 98, friends, if you want to check it. I'm going to give you some minutes, but please, when you finish, send me a little message. Tell me that you have finished or you have done it.
Only this exercise.
Only the vocabulary. We are going to do everything, friend, but I would like to check one exercise at a time.
Okay.
Very good. Many students have finished this. So let's check the answers. Let's check the answers. Sheila, and then you have two possibilities, right? Sheila spent or Sheila passed her holiday painting her room. What's your opinion, friends? Spent or passed?
Spend.
Spent for you. And for the rest of the people, can you write it in the chat for me to see? For Paula is spent, for Claudia is spent, for Lydia is spent. Very good. Spent is for Carmen and Albert and Mike. Correct, friends. Spent is the correct verb in this occasion for Paula and for Manny. Okay, good. Let's go to number 2. The new law will cause an impact, or the new law will have an impact on the way teenagers spend their free time. Be careful with this one. What do you think it is? Can you copy it? Half for Lydia, half for Manny, half for Paula, half for Frankie boy, Carmen half, other half. Yes, friends, half is a verb. Half, Mike. Yes. But be honest. In Spanish, no, Joanna. Normally we say have an impact. Will have an impact on the way teenagers spend. But in Spanish, we can say cause an impact. But in this example, have an impact, will have an impact is the perfect answer. In number 3, look at number 3, air travel causes a lot of pollution or air travel makes a lot of pollution. Makes or causes? Causes for Lydia, causes for Paula, causes from Frankie boy. For Carmen is causes. For Paula Herrera is causes. For Manny is causes. Yes, causes is the answer. Friends, you have 3 correct. Yes, Albert and Claudia. So you have 3 correct answers. Let's go to 4. People play with their mobile phones to spend the time when there is nothing more interesting to do, or to pass the time when there is. For Manny is past, for Frankie is past, for Albert is past, for Carmen too, past. And for Lydia Torrijos is past, for Paula is past. Yes, friends. Yes, Claudia. This is the perfect use of past. To pass the time because there is nothing more interesting to do. That is the idea. Patricia studied really hard all weekend, but it had no effect on her final result in the exam, but it caused no effect on her final result. Had or caused? What do you think is the answer? Had for Paula, had for Claudia, had for Lydia, for Carmen and Frankie and Manny. Well, for Manny's causes, but not. The answer is had. Yes, Mike and Albert. Yes. So it's not caused. Money is had no effect. 6. I had such a good time at Sandra's party that it caused me happy, or it made me happy for the rest of the week. What do you think? Made me happy, Albert, made Carmen and Frankie. Lydia is made for money, made for Paula. Yes, made is the correct. Yes, friends, Claudia. Made is the correct answer. Made me happy. Cost or made, in this case, made me happy. 7, I stayed 6 hours doing homework, or I spent 6 hours doing homework for my English class last weekend. Spent for Lydia, spent for Paula and Frankie boy. Paula, spending past, spent for Claudia, spent for Paula, spent for Carmen. Yes, friends, spent is the answer. Spent for money. Yes. So, no problem with this. In number 1 is spent. In number 2 is have. In number 3 is causes. In number 4 is past. In number 5 is had. In number 6, made. In number 7, spent. These were the verbs that we study in the vocabulary unit number 9. But now let's go to grammar. Let's see the exercise of grammar on this page. Look at the photos and questions for speaking part 2, then complete the sentences in the next column from Patrick's answers by writing words and phrases from the box above them. So we have to go to this part. Here, I'm going to make it bigger. So you have to use appear to, both, could just, look as if, maybe, might be doing it, perhaps, and very different, to fill in the 9 spaces in blank. Come on, let's do this exercise, and when you finish, remember, send me a little message. Good. Mike, Paula, Lydia, and Carmen have finished. And Albert and Frankie Boy. Very good. I think that we could check the answers. It says, the first photo shows two young people doing archery. They what in number one? They may be for Paula, maybe for Lydia, maybe for Mike, maybe for Carmen, for Claudia, maybe. Yes, friends, yes. Excellent. That is the expression here. They may be taking part in a competition. Correct. Or they, number two. Could just for my friend Paula, for Claudia, for Mike, could just for Carmen, could just for Paula Herrera and Lydia. Albert could just, yes, friends, yes. Could just is the answer. They could just be practicing, I'm not sure. They, and in number three, what about, it's longer in number three. What do you think is the, maybe doing that for Claudia, maybe doing it for Carmen, maybe doing it for Paula Herrera, maybe doing it for Paula and Lydia, might be doing it. Yes, the answer is might be doing it. Correct. Yes, they might be doing it as part of a traditional activity in their country, or because they enjoy the sport. Correct. The second photo shows a number four, a what? Very different for Paula, very different for Carmen. Yes. Lydia, very different. Yes, yes. Very different for Paula and Lydia and who else? For Claudia, very different. Yes. You are right, friends. Correct. So the answer is, the second photo shows a very different situation. In this photo, there are two middle-aged or older people playing the piano together. They, and now we have number five. What is the answer in number five? They what? Look for Lydia. Very good. Carmen para look. Excellent. Claudia, look. Many think it's look too. Yes, look. And what about Frankie boy? Paula, look. Thank you, Frankie. Look. Yes, look is the answer, friends. You are right. They look very happy and relaxed. Perfect. The teenagers in the first photo, and now we have number six. What do you think is the appropriate expression in number six? For Claudia is appear to, for Lydia is appear to, for Carmen is appear to. And what about the others? Frankie boy, yes, appear to. Paula, appear to is the correct answer, friends. Yes, yes, excellent, excellent. So the answer is, the teenagers in the first photo appear to be enjoying themselves because they are having to concentrate hard in order to hit the target or win the competition. On the other hand, in the second photo, the people, and now we have number seven, the people what, friends? Look as if for Claudia. Look as if for Paula. And for Manny, the same look as if. For Lydia, look as if. For Albert, look as if. Excellent, friends. Yes, yes. Carmen, yes. Paula, yes. Look as if. Correct, Frankie. This is the answer in number 7. The people look as if they are just enjoying each other's company. And number 8, and perhaps Frankie, perhaps Lydia, perhaps Paula, perhaps for Carmen, and for Paula Herrera is perhaps too, Albert is perhaps, Claudia Varela is perhaps. Yes, friends, perhaps, yes, Manny, perhaps is the answer. Yes. And perhaps, let me tell you something about perhaps. Let me tell you something. You know, perhaps, maybe, express speculation too. They are possibilities, similar to may, might, and could. Similar, right? But they don't give you any mark in the exams, friends. If you say, perhaps they are having a lot of fun in the party, it is okay, no problem, because perhaps exists and perhaps is correct. But in the exam, perhaps and maybe don't give you extra mark because Cambridge considers that this vocabulary belongs to secondary school. So instead of instead of using perhaps, maybe using may, might, could, etc. Now, perhaps they are not taking the music too seriously. And now number 9. What? Both for Paula, both for Lydia Torrijos, both for Carmen. Claudia is both, Paula, both, Frankie Boy, both. Yes, friends. And Manny, both is the answer. In both photos, the people are enjoying doing things which need a lot of practice to do well. Very good. What are we doing? What we are doing here is revising the topics we studied in unit number 9. Imagine the importance. Let's go to the final exercise on page 116. Exercise 3. Complete this dialogue. Let me show you the page. Let me show you. Here, exercise 3. This exercise here. Complete this dialogue between two friends by putting the verbs in brackets into the correct form. So they give you the verbs, but you have to write them in the correct form. Remember what I told you about certainty and possibility in present and the difference with certainty and possibility in past, right? Remember that. I'm going to give you some minutes. And again, friends, again, it's the same procedure, you know. When you finish, send me a message. I don't want to disturb you. I want you to work freely, take your time, but when you finish, send me a little message for me to check the answers. Thank you. So Lydia has finished, Claudia has finished, Paula has finished, Carmen has finished, Mike has finished, Albert has finished, and Frankie Boy has finished. Very good. I think we have conditions to check the answers. Listen. Andy, why won't Stefan answer his mobile phone? Nigel, he what, friends? What do you think is the answer? For Lydia is must have switched. For Claudia, the same. Must have switched. Must have switched for Frankie. Must have switched. Frankie must has never must have switched for Mike, and Paula must have switched. Yes, and that is the correct answer, friends. You have the correct answer. So he must have switched it off while he was in class and forgotten to turn it back on again. And now Andy says, what about number 2? For Paula, he can have turned. And for Lydia, can't have turned. For Mike, can't have turned. For Claudia, can't have turned. Similar for Paula Herrera, can't have turned. Carmen, have. Yes, Carmen. Yes. So the answer is correct. He can't have turned it off because blah, blah, blah. Very good, friends. You are very intelligent because in other classes, the result was not similar. Very good. I repeat, he can't have turned it off because he didn't have a class today. His teacher is ill. Nigel, well, number 3, what? For Lydia, is may not have heard. For Claudia, may not have heard. For Paula, may not have heard. For Paula, may not have heard. For Frankie Boy, may not have heard. Yes, this is the answer. Well, he may not have heard it. So when you pronounce, you said, well, he may not have heard it. Or he, and now we have number 4 to finish. Or he what? For Claudia is could have left. For Lydia, could have left. For Paula, could have left. For Carmen, could have left. Similar to Paula, could have left. And for Frankie Boy, could have left. Yes, friends, this is exactly the answer. Or he could have left it at home. Try ringing again. He, and now we have 5. This time, now it is in present. This time. Might answer for Claudia. Might answer for Lydia, and for Paula, might answer. Might answer for Carmen. And for Paula Herrera too, might answer. Yes, friends, excellent. In other classes, they continue with the past, have answered, no, not you. Perfect, I'm very satisfied. Yes, try ring it again. He might answer this time. Anyway, why do you want to call him? And Andy says, I want to remind him about the party we are going to tonight. He, and we have number 6. What is the answer in number 6? For Lydia, might have forgotten. For Claudia, might forget in present. And the other people, for Paula, might have forgotten. And nobody else. For Paula Herrera is might have forgotten, and might forget Carmen in present. No. Frank might have forgotten, might forget. No, Joanna, no, because it's not in present. So the perfect answer in 6 is he might have forgotten. Debe haberlo olvidado. Podría haberlo olvidado, sorry. Podría haberlo olvidado. He might have forgotten. You know what he's like. Ya sabes cómo es él. You know what he's like. Nigel, he, number 7. What is the answer in number 7? For Paula is can't have forgotten. For Lydia is can't have forgotten. For Mike is can't have forgotten. And for Paula Herrera is can't have forgotten. Carmen can't have forgotten. Yes, friends. For Claudia is can't have forgotten. Excellent. Yes, that's the answer. He can't have forgotten. He was talking about it all yesterday, and he was so excited. Very good. Well, with these exercises, what we did is to practice again the topics of unit number 9 that maybe you had forgotten. Yes, but now I received a message from your teacher last week, and the teacher says that there was a homework in the workbook. I'm not sure. You tell me, please. Maybe I am wrong. But the teacher told me that you had a homework on page 39 of the workbook. Is that right or incorrect?
Yes, it's correct.
Thank you, friend. Thank you. Thank you very much. Can we check it? If you don't mind, si no les molesta, podemos chequearlo, right? Well, okay, Lydia. Thank you, friend, for the feedback. Reading and use of English, part 3, page 39, workbooks. Let's see if I can find it to show you the workbook. That's it. This is it. Yes. Well, personality types. It is often said that no two people are exactly alike. Alike is a synonym of similar. Alike. But according to one what? The adjective, because we need an adjective. From psychology, what is the adjective? Do you know? Psychological for Lydia, psychological for Claudia. Lydia, be careful with the spelling. Claudia, psychological for Carmen. The answers are correct. Yes, the answers are correct. Psychological, that is the answer. Why adjective? Because you have theory. Theory is a noun. So theory needs an adjective. Psychological theory. We all share one of 16 distinct personality types, which are formed by several number 2. Several what? Combinations for Frank. Combinations for Claudia. Combination for Carmen Parra. Yes, combinations for Lydia and Paula. Combinations, yes, friends, correct. Combinations by several combinations of personality traits, rasgos, yes, traits. Now, number 3, comparisons for Claudia. Only Claudia. Lydia, comparisons on the rest of the people. Oh my God. Comparisons is the answer, friends. This is correct. Comparisons can be made between personality and left or right handedness. Most people are born with a what in number 4? Preference for Lydia, preference for Paula, preference for Frankie Boy. For Carmen, preference. Yes, friends, you are correct. Preference is the word. With a preference for one hand, and all of us are born with a personality type. Experts say that we, number 5, that we develop. So what is the word? Typically for Lydia, double L, typically for Carmen, typically for Claudia, yes, typically for Paula. Excellent, friends, typically is the answer. Experts say that we typically develop our personality type through the course of our lives. In what? In number 6. In response for Frankie, response for Claudia and Lydia, response. Correct. Response is correct. In response to our number 7. What do you think is the word in number 7? Surroundings. Yes, Lydia, yes. Surrounders. No, Claudia. Surroundings with ing. Surroundings. Surroundings.
Eric,
yes.
What the meaning of surround?
Surround son los alrededores, el medio ambiente, lo que te rodea.
Okay.
In this case is surroundings and experiences. Me fijo que experiences está en plural. Este sustantivo también debe estar en plural. Surroundings and experiences, school or work, for example. However, it should be emphasized that personality type doesn't explain everything about us, and that the number 8, behavior for Claudia, behavior for Frankie Boy, behavior for Paula, and for Lydia, behavior. Yes, friends, you are right. You are right. Behavior is the word. Behavior of people with the same personality type can differ hugely. Pueden diferenciarse muchísimo, hugely. Now, the other part of the homework, friends, I don't know, you tell me, is reading and use of English part 2. Right or wrong? Did you do it? Hey, friends, did you do the second part of the page 39? Yes, Frankie, thank you, friend, thank you. I need the feedback. Necesito retroalimentación. Yes, Claudia, thank you, Lydia. Very good. So let's check it out. The happiest day of the year. And this exercise is more difficult, friends. This is more difficult because you have no hints, no clues, no help, nothing similar to a part of the exam. A British psychologist says he can prove that the last Friday in June is the happiest days of the year. Oh my God, listen to that. Well, Cliff Arnold, a University of Cardiff psychologist specializing in seasonal disorders, created, in number 1, what is the verb? Yes, Lydia, has. For Claudia, has. For Paula, has. My friends, you are really smart. Yes, has is the answer. Yes, Paula, has. So, has created present perfect, see? Has created a formula for finding happiness. The research looks everything. What is the preposition? For, looks for, busca todo. La investigación busca for everything from no, for is no, if no, at yes. Frankie Boy, yes, looks at. Maybe you remember, look at me, look at you, look at. It's look at. So at is the perfect preposition in number 2. Rectify that, friends. And don't forget, look at. Listen to, look at. Well, looks at everything from increased outdoor activity and rising energy levels to picnics and beach trips with families. Mr. Arnold's happiness formula depends. What is the preposition that we use with depends? On for Paula, my God. On for Lydia and Claudia, on. For Frankie boy, yes, Frankie, on. Yes, friends, on depends on 6 factors. Outdoor activity, nature, social interaction, positive memories of childhood summers, temperature, and holidays, and anticipation of time off. At the end of June, the days are at their longest, means, lo cual significa, what is the word in number 4? Duration in Lydia, which for Paula, which for Claudia, Lydia, it is which, my friend, which means lo que significa, lo cual significa, which means there are more hours of sunshine to enjoy. It's people tend to have lots. In Spanish, es cuando la gente tiende a tener, what is the word? In number 5, when for Paula, when for Claudia, and for Lydia, when, yes, friends, when is the perfect word here. It's when people tend to have lots of gatherings. Remember, the gatherings is a synonym of reunions. Gatherings with friends and family. Mr. Arnold said, happiness is associated with many things in life and can triggered, what is the word? It was a problem in many classes. What do you think is the word, the appropriate? B for Frankie. Frankie, you are really smart. B for Claudia, B for Lydia. Yes, friends. Is passive voice, you see, can be triggered by a variety of events, whether it's a sunny day, a childhood memory that, what is the element we use to make a contrast? Has, no Lydia, in, no Claudia. Whether it's ya sea, esto es lo que quiere decir, ya sea un día soleado, or Carmen, yes, or Paula, yes, or is the perfect conjunction here. I repeat, whether it's a sunny day or a childhood memory that triggers a feeling of happiness, I think this formula proves that the path to finding happiness is very simpler than people imagine. Is very simpler. No answers? Much, my God, Paula, yes. Carmen, yes. Much, Claudia, yes. This is the word. How difficult. How difficult in other classes. Congratulations, friends. Much is very much simpler. Es mucho más simple. Very good, friends. What is the homework for next class? Remember, the homework is, I'm sorry for this. I know it is stressing. I know, friends, but I have experience. I am your teacher. I love you. I know how important it is to speak. So for next class, I'm going to select some of you to do the speaking exam using the pictures. Remember the pictures that you have on page number, let me see the page because I don't have it here now. The pictures you have on page number 104. You select the pictures. You can select the pictures on the left or you can select the pictures on the right. I don't care because you are adults, but prepare for this. In 1 minute, compare and contrast the pictures and answer the questions. This is the homework, right? So friends, this is the end of our class. I'm sorry for last week that I was not here with you, but I was sick. Do you understand? Impossible for me. I felt horrible. But now we are together again and we have to go on. We have to go on. We have to finish everything we begin. Thank you for being here with me and for doing the exercises. Next class, we begin with speaking. Don't feel stressed, don't feel nervous or nothing. Do it as if you were in alone. And this is the end. Thank you for being with me. Have a beautiful evening and see you next class, right? Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye.